China preparing to roll out the red carpet to consolidate a long time and newfound friendships as it adjusts to shifts in the global order in trade and security. More than 20 world leaders will be heading to China for a security forum in Tianjin on the weekend. All this followed by a military parade in Beijing next week to mark 80 years since the end of World War II, which also marked the end of Japanese occupation of parts of China. A North Korea's leader will be there in Tiananmen Square alongside Russia's Vladimir Putin. Mr. Putin was at the same event 10 years ago, but not Kim Jong-un, who sent a senior official in his place then. Leaders from Iran and ASEAN countries like Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, plus Myanmar's military chief Min Aung Hlaing will be there. So will leaders from Pakistan, Nepal, and the Maldives. South Korea sent former and then impeached President Park Geun-hye in 2015. The parliament speaker will represent Seoul this year. Former Japanese Premier Yukio Hatoyama has been invited, but Tokyo had reportedly urged world leaders to skip this event, which Beijing officially refers to as the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression. Tokyo accusing the event of bearing anti-Japanese undertones. Also absent the US and major European nations, with the exception of Serbia, Slovakia, and Russia's close ally, Belarus. And while Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will make his first visit to China in 7 years for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit that takes place Sunday to Monday, he's not expected to be at this parade. Mr. Modi was not present at the 2015 event either. New Delhi and Beijing have endured years of tension over their shared border, despite an easing in the past few months, and is drawing attention to what could be seen as a pivot to China, given tensions with Washington, most recently over tariffs. But they also warn that differences run very deep and very long between these two Asian giants. CNA's Tan Sifui tells us more.
After months of speculation, the guest list.
Hey, shalom. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha, Kwadash, the Mohana Zelda, and the apostles of the Commission who do well. A peace and blessing and salutation to you, Akiamu, pushing this rules to the four winds of the heaven, being at the forefront of the spiritual war, to make sure Jerusalem is established as a place here on earth again, as in the days of old. So, the axis of evil is meeting in China, and the title say China prepare for parade to mark the end of World War II. They are rolling up that red carpet, man. You see, but a thought came in my head about peace and safety. It's because right now, as they are celebrating, they are celebrating about peace. As the result of standing against the imperialistic power which led up to World War II, in which what they don't understand is the scripture speak about the third war coming quickly. You see, because right after 1945, it followed a period of the Cold War. Right after that, very, very quick, like the scripture said. And the Cold War really, if we want to be technical, that was the beginning of World War III. Because when you consider the art of war, in the art of war don't start kinetically. And when I say kinetically, I mean people shooting at other people, fighting. They begin with the word, the war of words, exchanging words. Then it escalates to economic. That's what you are seeing. And back in the Cold War, it was the war of words and the posturing, a different military installation, posturing around the world, and a proxy war. But then it went economic. economically. Right now, it wanna go full cycle to be kinetic. So they are rolling a red carpet for what to come next, and what to come next is kinetic. You see, we are at the beginning stage of what you see. In a sense of people shooting at each other, man. Major power shooting at each other. You see? So, I mean, that's very spiritual. The axis of evil is meeting in China, man. They're getting ready to let it pop. Joel 3 and verse 11. You see? Assemble yourself and come all heathen. That's what they are doing. The Western Bloc, led by NATO, they are assembling themselves together. They are having meeting every day to figure out how to deal with Russia. And the axis of evil, which made with Russia, China, Iran, India, and the rest of them nations, man, they are coming together in China. And gather yourself together around about hither, cause I might want to come down your Yahweh. See? So, going to the New Testament, let me see something here. Let me see something I was talking about the third war. This is the book of Revelation 11:14. It says the second war is past. See? And behold, the third war come quickly. And that's what exactly happened. After World War II, it followed the period which we call in history the Cold War era. Technically speaking, that was the beginning of the third war, because war does not, as I said, war does not begin kinetically. It's just people shooting at each other. No. Even when I spoke about the art of war, going back in the scripture refer to the Moshe as a man of war. When you go back during the destruction of ancient Egypt, how it happened, the Moshe started with sending a warning to Egypt, man. Sending delegate, or what we call emissary, to the king of Egypt, threatening him with utter destruction. That's how war began. You exchange words, man. And the Pharaoh fired back. You see? Then it escalated into an economic warfare. The Moshe waged an economic warfare on Egypt, man. You see? He struck their field, he struck their cattle, and everything else. You see? Then it went kinetically, where he killed all the firstborn of ancient Egypt. That's blood for blood. You see? You have like 3 phases to war, and that's what you see during the time, you see, of the Cold War leading up until now. Like now you are seeing economic warfare. If you see economic warfare, it simply means we are getting ready to enter another phase, which is kinetic. So this is Ecclesiastic 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. You see, right now we in the time of war. Let me see. Let me see something. Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. That's why you see there is a lot of hate on the air, man. People are getting ready to smash. See? I don't know if smash is the right word, but people are getting ready to smash, man. Matthew 24:7, if a nation shall rise against nation, and the kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence. You are seeing in America there is a report of their mutated animals running around in America, man. Very ugly. You can't even look at them as a picture, man. Like what they call a zombie deer disease. See, it is getting real, man, and escalating quick, and earthquake in diverse places. All of this at the beginning of sorrow. So this is Shalom. I hope you are edified. On to the next.